Okay, so good morning and welcome to my channel. I'm Queen D, and I appreciate all the ladies coming here. And I would like to talk to you about inspiration, motivation, and what it takes to be a queen. Because we all are queens, but we all come from different backgrounds. And what happens is, sometimes when we are in different situations that we grow up in, what happens is that what it does is it makes us feel like we're not. And sometimes what that does is it makes us feel down on ourselves. So when people say, oh, you think you're a diva, you're a queen. No, that's not what it's about. It's on the inside out. It's how you treat yourself and how you feel about who you are as a person. So I work with WRJR, which is a jazz station. I also work with Christian radio. And they actually reached out to me. This was a God thing. Lorraine Moi is my brand, and that means the queen in me in French. I had went to an Essence Fest back in 2019, and I met Kamala Harris, I met Michelle Obama, I met Ayanna, so I met some great people, okay? They were mentoring me, and Tyler Perry. So when you're up close and you're personal with these people, it's so important. And if you realize, if you look around the room, these are beautiful women, all of you are beautiful, and what we all have in common is that we're like-minded. And that's what it's about, being with like-minded people, because it's all about positivity. If you're around someone negative and all they can do is just look at you and without listening to what you have to say and all they care about is the external, they're not really deep spiritual people in the first place. You don't need to be around anybody who has nothing positive to say, and that goes for family and friends, okay? That goes for your boyfriend, that goes for anybody. If they are bringing you down, it's time to walk away, okay? Love or not love. Love ain't got nothing to do with this, all right? Love ain't got nothing to do with this. This is about building your own self up and your own dreams and everything. Right, so with that being said, when I came home, I felt so inspired by these people, because their energy was so strong. So when I got home, I remember my son had videotaped me, and people started reaching out to me on my page going, hey Queen, hey Queen. I was like, what are they talking about? I did sit in, they had a Queen chair, you sit in, everybody takes a picture. And I started being respectful back, hey Queen, hey King, how y'all doing? And that's what it was. So I decided I was going to make a brand. And I wanted to call the Queen in Me. And this brand and my vision was to have candles, and being that I am a Pentecostal person, I came from the church, and we used to make baskets for the sick and the homeless and everything. Then because of that, what I would do is we would make baskets, and I remember always complaining like, oh God, we got to do baskets this year again. I'm real about what I got to say, okay? I ain't lying about nothing, all right? I was like, another task for me to do, But, I also was on the worship team and everything, and I would also do things for people who were homeless and all those other things, right? So what this journey has done for me, by doing those baskets, when I came up with the idea for Lorraine Moi, I thought, oh wow, which I do have candles. I actually have one here somewhere. But I decided with the candles, I was going to do spa baskets and different type of themed baskets. That was and then I was going to go from there. And if you go to my channel, and if you go to my Facebook page, you'll see I'm always trying to build queens up, women up. I'm always saying something inspirational for them. And of course, there might be somebody that don't like what I got to say, but that's too bad. And if they're feeling uncomfortable, it's because there's something in them.
Come on,
this ain't got nothing to do with them at all. It's got to do with us, okay? So if they're feeling offended, then they're not the one for you anyway. Okay, so with that in mind, I got my trade. I went for my LLC, and they sent me a letter back saying, sorry, you can't use this. Someone else has this trade. You can't use this. And I'm like, why I can't use it? So I'm the type of person, when I talk to God, I talk real. I don't try to fake it and try to come up with this eloquent prayer and try to be fancy and all this stuff, because he already knows your heart anyway. So I just said, like, God, why you give me something I can't use? Okay? I just said it like that. And he said, well, say it in French. And I said, say it in French? And I said, Google, say it in French. And he said, Lorraine Moi. And I said, what? Say it again. She said, Lorraine Moi. And I said, okay, God, you're a genius. All right now. Okay, I'm going to use Lorraine Moi. Now, my background is that I have traveled the world. My ex is a VP. He's won a VP of Wells Fargo. We met when we were teenagers. And we got married, and we were building our lives. We had planned to retire at 40, and we traveled a lot. So even with my babies, I was traveling. So I have been to France. I've lived in France. I've lived in London. I've been all over the world. God has blessed me with those tools, okay? But sometimes when you're young, you don't get the understanding of what it takes to be married. Okay, all I did was gripe and complain about how he was never home. Okay, fast forward, try that again. And see if I can gripe and complain. He can go and do what he want to do. Okay, I'm gonna be enjoying myself. All right, but back then it was like, you're not home with me, not spending enough time with me, you know, that type of thing. You know, and also, and it's hard when women have children that are very young. My children were young. They were like 2 and 4, okay? So I'm in a strange country all the time. Where people speak different languages, different money currencies, all these things came into play, right? And so I had to learn how to grow up real fast as a young woman. I had to learn money currency, I had to learn community, I had to learn everything. And in other countries, America is one of those countries where we do a lot of complaining, but what we don't realize is this. You can't go to another country and do what you want to do and
Come on now.
Okay, it ain't happening.
Come on now.
Because you're guilty before proven innocent. Not in reverse. Guilty until proven innocent. That's just the way it is, right? So you just can't get a job when you want a job. You have to have some type of you have to be an expat. You have to have all the papers in place before you can work in other countries. It's just not like it is here. Okay, it looks beautiful when you're going out shopping and you're coming home, but it's not the same. When you're there, you have to listen to them. Whether you like it or not, they don't care if you complain or not, they don't care. And that's just the way it is. So with that whole journey, so when God gave me Lorraine and moi, it was because he was already building me, growing me, planting seeds that I didn't even realize that he was planting for today. I didn't even realize it. Even all that time that I spent in church, I must have spent in church maybe 6 to 7 days a week. I was one of those people who said no to nothing. I was one that got exhausted.
Come on, girl. Come on.
My child was in child care in the church, okay? My children were raised up until high school in the church. They went on all the trips, they did all the stuff, all right? You know, I raised them in the church, but I did that because once I got a divorce from my ex, when we came back to the States, it's because I put my foot down and said, I'm not living in another country. We were on our way to Singapore, and I said, I'm not moving. I'm not moving again. Because I started to miss my family and my friends. Although I did make lots of connections and family and friends over there, it's not the same. I mean, how many people's family can just afford to go to Europe, okay? You know, so I wanted to go home. And so when we got home, we had this big, fabulous McMansion built. That's when big homes were just being built, those really super big McMansions, they call them, you know. And it had everything, but I still wasn't happy. I wasn't happy. I had everything. I mean, we were driving the Jaguars and the BMWs and the Lexus. I mean, we were driving all that stuff. So this goes to show you that if you're not living your purpose, it doesn't matter. You are going to be unhappy. I couldn't buy enough clothes. I couldn't buy enough perfumes. I couldn't buy enough everything. I still was sad. And it's because there's something in all of us that we are here to do. We all have a purpose.
Absolutely.
And after you get tired of spending money on clothes and makeup, you're going to get tired. Even after you get your mansion. Have you ever wondered why people jump out of buildings and they're super rich? You're like, why they jump out of buildings? You know, like, why? You know, that is because there's something in them that God wants them to do. And it ain't got nothing to do with everybody else is doing. And I'm going to tell you something. It doesn't help to be jealous of other people.
Come on, man.
It doesn't help to be envious of other people. Because what happens is that you're not looking in the mirror and saying, I am. I'm enough. I'm enough. I can do this. Because God would not have put you in this world if he did not have a plan for your life. You wouldn't have been born. I don't care how you got here.
That's right.
It's not how you start, it's how you finish it. Whether you like it or not, you got a legacy. You got a legacy that you got to fulfill. So if you die tomorrow and they say, oh, well, you know, yeah, she's on. If that's all it is to you,
that's
fine.
Right. That's right.
But whether you think you're going to leave without a legacy, somebody's going to remember you for something.
Come on now.
So it's up to you to decide what you want to be remembered for. You know, because we all are here and we're on a journey. Our path may be different, but we are all like-minded people, and we all want what's ours, okay? And that's what this is about. knowing what you want. So I know that everybody here has a plan for their life. I know that everybody here is on a journey, and I appreciate you because we're all like-minded people. So I'm going to start with this beautiful queen here. Tell us what your name is.
My name is Sharika.
Hi, Sharika.
And I am from Monroe, North Carolina. I am the mother of 4, and I have 3 grandkids.
Bless you.
And 1 on the way. I own a boutique, Rick's Boutique, and I do hair. I'm a traveling stylist.
Wonderful.
Sell wigs,
Okay.
lace fronts, units, bundles. Pretty much just love making people smile, and I'm positive. I just
That's
want to be
wonderful.
around
That's
positive
wonderful.
vibes. If it's negative, I'm going to leave.
Thank you.
That's
Thank you. And you, beautiful?
My name is Tatiana.
Hi, Tatiana.
I'm a mom. I have 1 daughter. I'm from Queens, New York.
Oh, Queens, New York, like me. Okay.
I have a business. It's called Black Queen City. It's basically a networking event. I have like big pop-up shops, motivational speakers, and everything to give back to the community.
Awesome.
I feed the homeless with my platform, and I'm trying to do like give back to the community, like school events and stuff like that. So that's what I do, and I have a boutique as well.
Well, don't say that's what you do. What you're doing is great, honey. What you're doing is great. You can change your lives. What I'm talking about. All right now. And you beautiful queen?
I'm Miss B.
Miss B.
I have a company called Somebody's Mama, and what I do is called scalp augmentation. And what it is replacing or emulating hair follicles. So it's helping someone maybe male baldness, alopecia, male, female, and it kind of just builds back your confidence.
Yes.
For me, my background is nursing.
Okay.
So for me, it's just
it's just added to the
So
knowledge.
once I finish the procedure and someone just
That's wonderful.
see that smile and see their confidence come back, that's all I need.
And you know, hair is a woman's halo.
Yes, sir.
Okay. That's why God gave me hair.
Yeah.
Hair is a woman's halo. That's why God gave me hair. If He wanted him to look like Adam, He would have did so.
I know you're
Okay. So that's a beautiful, wonderful thing you're doing because women really feel bad when they're losing their
That's
hair.
right.
It's their decision whether or not they want to shave their head.
That's
That's
right.
their decision. But when it's not your decision, it becomes a problem.
Come on now.
That's where I come in. If you
That's where
decide
you come
to lose
in.
your hair, you want to put some density in, we can do that. A lot of edges, a lot of people missing the edges, I can do that.
That's amazing. That's a blessing. You're going to change a lot of
I hope
lives.
so. And
Yes.
good thing is I don't see a lot of people that look like me doing this service. So that's something I really want to do.
Yes.
That's wonderful. And you beautiful back there?
Hey y'all, my name
Hi.
is Ariel Bradshaw. I'm a real estate agent. I'm really big on educating millennials and minorities on home ownership and the steps that it takes and coaching them through the process so they're able to get pre-approved. I'm from Asheville, North Carolina. Me and my husband have been in Charlotte for about 5 years. And yeah, that's what I do.
Wonderful. Yes, we need more women who are in business that does real estate, especially women of color. It's very important that we actually show that so other people can feel comfortable because not everybody's comfortable going to visit anybody, you know? So that's wonderful. And you beautiful in the back, queen. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Great.
I thought y'all were gonna go this way. My name is Shannon Chaplin, Shannon Hargrove. I got married. I live in the Columbia area. I'm a mom. I'm a grandma. I'm a hairstylist. I'm a life coach.
Wonderful.
I do everything you can do. This is my friend Nat that I brought with me.
Hello.
She's been with me since I've been in business. She is like my PR, my marketing person. It takes when I started out in business, I started out in a smart style salon, and I had this lady tell me, she said, all it takes is one. So if you got one person on your team,
Come on
then you
now.
got an empire.
One
Amen.
person.
So this
Yes.
has been my one. You know,
Yes. That's what I'm talking about.
I've been in business for 20 years now. June 10th, 20 years. And I just, if I could share what I know, how, I came up when we were walking outside, passing out business cards. She was there making flyers. We got the original people we had to fight because you advertising on the back of my flyer, So I come from that era of business, and I think I have survived us going to war. I have survived us going through a recession and people losing their homes and having to relocate. I have went through this new pandemic with my business and the new recession that we're about to hit, and we're acting like we don't see it, but I'm fine with that too. And so I'm just praying that I make it through, that everybody here sees a way to make it through. And just because it looks like a little tiny struggle, if you make it through the next day,
Come on now.
But it's no need for us to jump off buildings and do stuff like that. You gotta know, everybody look for this person for prayer, for this person for strength. You are the strongest person. You can do that. Every morning you wake up, you activate yourself. You just reactivate. So that's what business is about. You can't say this is a bad day or this is a good day. Every day, make every day a good day. Make something positive. Do something towards what you're going towards, and business is going to work out, and your relationship is going to work out. And I'm Shannon.
Thank you. And this is beautiful Queen
Natalie.
Natalie.
Yeah, everybody calls me Nat. I'm from the upstate of South Carolina. I was blessed to be born into a 2-parent household where one of my parents was an educator and my other parent was a street person. So I feel like I have the best of both worlds. I'm a natural born hustler. I'm not a business owner, but I feel like myself, I am a business because I am my brand. When, like she said, when she started, okay, I'm gonna pass out flyers, I'm gonna make sure you got business card, I'm gonna answer the phone, I'm gonna sweep the floor, whatever it takes.
That's a major part. That's the biggest part.
And to see her grow and flourish, that's one of my biggest inspirations. Like she said, I know I done made it through some of my brokest, and I'm not talking about financially broke.
Come on now. Come on now.
You know what I'm saying?
Come on now.
Broken, she's brought me through some of my most broken times. So to me, she's more than a stylist.
Okay.
That's the way our relationship started off. She was my stylist. But I feel like going forward, like if your stylist isn't your friend, she has no reason to be in your hair.
Come on, girl.
You know what I mean?
You gotta say that.
My stylist is my friend. She's my counselor, like she said. She's my life coach. She's my financial advisor. She's the one that calms me down. She's the one that hypes me up. And I'm gonna market, and I do everything I can to market her because I have a strong social media following. So I make sure, it's new hair. Check out more. I'm gonna support my people. So, just to be sitting at the table with such wonderful women to feel the energy in this room, I just feel blessed because, like I said, I'm not a business owner. You are. No, but you are. You know what I mean? I'm not a business owner, but to be able to be around strong black women, that reminds me of the black women that I came from, and I know the backs that I came from. I just feel so grateful to even be able to sit at the table with y'all. Really appreciate the invite. Thank you.
I guess when you need something, you get it, because I think I needed to hear every single person that says something this far, and I think that's probably the best moment in life when you realize it was meant for you.
Amen.
But you're on the receiving end. To have to pour so much, I can receive.
Come on now.
So I'm appreciative. I'm Ty from Time Carolina Weekly Moments. I'm a celebrity media host. So I tour places, host conferences, military influencers out in Florida. Just hosted Megan Good. Hosted Young Women's. So that's what I do, and I love it. But most importantly, it's about social advocacy. If you're not doing what you absolutely believe in, it just won't work. And I'm so glad that you touched on being happy, because that's important, and that's what really means the most. Because when you look back, as I transitioned to medicine, a lot of the older patients, they always say, "I wish I would have done this. I regret not doing this. I wish I took time." And so now that I'm hearing all these stories, and now that I'm in media, I'm taking time to enjoy what I'm doing. Not complain about, oh, my makeup wasn't perfect, or my hair wasn't here. In media, I get to be present. And that's probably the most gracious part of being in this field. And it's also the best part, being a black woman. And seeing people like you, because I can't be who I am unless I'm in a safe space. And so it's what every single person in this room has created for women like me, and I couldn't do it without you. So first, thank you for that. That's how it's. Our show's on Roku right now, the cooking show, and it just took off with being viral. And so my whole purpose right now is to be a medical talk show host, and we are joining steady with the weekly shows all across the world. Millions of people are tuning in, but much
That's right.
That's all that matters. I never thought about how
Yes.
much it meant. I just wanted that one person that it meant so much.
Come on now.
But you don't know how much it means to somebody. It's like, I affirm that. I affirm that. And I think I needed every single one of everybody's just mission to really feel like I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm confident, but sometimes I need help too.
So, my name is Sherelle, and like Ty, I also work in media, but I work on the news side of things. And my purpose is to give a voice to people that look like me and to highlight, Black voices and Black stories on the news. A lot of times, news and the media gets a bad rep for the stories we cover, crime, all the bad things. And so my job is to change that, change the narrative and show the good that's happening in the community, people that look like us, highlight the positive, and just kind of not really show the bad, the things like that. It's there. The bad is always going to be there, but a lot of times, people forget that,
It's like positive.
Black people, we're not a monolith. Like, we do so much, and I want to highlight that and give show a spotlight on that. And all you ladies are doing something so incredible, and my job is just to highlight that and bring, give you all a voice on TV to show people that don't look like you what you do, and bring just more attention to what you do so that we can all win. So,
Thank you. We need to because it's like when you have a play. I mean, like who's going to be in the background? Who's going to do the lighting? Who's going to do all that production stuff? Someone's got to do it. To highlight you too. So everybody is a chain reaction. It takes a village. It really does. It does. Everything connects. It's a connection. And that's what it's about. So what you do is awesome because we need you. It's very important that we have you. So thank you so much. We appreciate that.
My name is Severa. I wear many hats like most of us in this room, I'm sure. I'm a mother of 4 boys, co-owner of YMS Cleaning Services, which stands for You Missed the Spot Cleaning Services. I also own Catching Z's Enterprises, which provides short-term and long-term rental solutions for individuals traveling to the area. With the cleaning service, we have about 10 properties that we provide services for. These are rental complexes. We also provide commercial cleaning. As far as what I do, well, in the beginning, I was, in the trenches. I can definitely say I was in these units cleaning for a very, very low amount, but I needed the business. Cleaning with seeing just about anything that you can think of. But at the time now, I can say proudly that we have about 10 employees full-time. We have a handful of contractors. We are actively hiring. We're always bringing in new people. I train on the cleaning side. I do a lot of groundwork. I'm going to many properties, just offering, asking, if they're happy with their current cleaners. Most of them aren't. So that's where I step in and try to fill the gap and let them know that we are a 5-star cleaning company. Check our Google reviews. We stand by our name and just here to provide top tier service.
Awesome. Thank you. You know what I'm hearing from her? She's a hustler. She ain't playing. Period. All right now. And what people don't realize, whether if you're a CEO or you are on the street, whatever you're doing, you still hustling. It don't matter how you want to define it, you still out there. That's what I'm talking about. That's awesome. And you, Queen, how you doing?
I'm fine. How are you?
Hi.
My name is Atia Abdestamad, and I'm the owner of Innovative Foot Spa. I specialize in advanced wellness pedicures for individuals with problematic. Yes. It's definitely a need. I'm the only CMP in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Wow.
Okay. So I target individuals with diabetes, cancer, autoimmune compromised systems. And actually a few days ago I was broadcasted on Spectrum News, which was great because I've been trying to build my brand and just educate the people on my services and the benefits of my services. So it's different. It's a soapless pedicure, so I focus on the health of your feet. And it brings me joy because a lot of people, they have low self-esteem and low confidence with their feet because of the different deformities and just different conditions from their health that affects their feet. And I just don't service them, but I educate them and I give them different tips to do at home so they can take care of their feet properly.
Thank you all. All of you girls just wonderful, Queen. So now I'm going to ask you, what inspires you? Because everybody has a story, but there's something that inspired you to get started. So what inspired you?
Well, what inspired me was the high prices. My motto is best prices around. So, I mean, with my customers and people that I deal with, they are long-time customers, and I mean, my prices and my quality is, good. So that inspires me, the fact that they can afford it. They don't have to wait in line or they're not, you know what I'm saying? I mean, everybody don't have the money to wear latest fashions and, but if I can provide affordable clothing for people, then, they're going to tell the next person, so that's how it's kind of been my phenomenal effect, and that's how I've been able to be successful.
Thank you. And that's the next question I want to ask you, because we just came out of lockdown. Okay, people act like it never happened, but it did happen, and that 2020 was rough on all of us. So I know we all had to do some self-reflection there. Now, a lot of things came from that. So what happened with you with the lockdown?
Okay, so with me, basically, a lot of people, they start a business and you have no customers. You don't have nobody to network. You don't have anything. Sometimes you go to places and speak, and it's just not the outcome you want it to be. So I'm very family oriented. So I wanted to do something where a lot of people don't have family, like what I'm saying, but they just here. So I wanted to incorporate business with educating somebody and having fun. You know what I'm saying? We're all like a family. So I came up with Black Queen City, which is Black Queen City. Like we are one. So you can be a man or a female. It doesn't matter what you are. Once you come on this platform, we're all family. We stay locked in for everything. You know what I'm saying? We all stay connected. We meet up even after the fact. So I couldn't get my business personal, like my boutique, to a point where it could just be like, oh, everybody knows about it, or everybody this. But I just put two and two together. With me being family oriented, we always do like events and stuff. I just started doing events in Charlotte. People started coming, people was able to sell their stuff, and it just motivated me to keep going. So now you may not know Friel's Boutique, but you know Black Queen City. Friel's Boutique is at Black Queen City every single month. So that's
Anybody got a real big inspiration, like an aha moment in lockdown they'd like to talk about?
I actually got COVID. And being a nurse, I couldn't do my job.
Wow.
So I'm laying in bed and I'm like, something's got to give. Something's got to be better than nursing. So I'm looking and I'm seeing this particular process, but I'm not seeing anyone that looks like us. And that particular process was so big in the other community. And I was like, you know what? Some of my brothers would love this. And I'm going to learn how to do this, and I'm going to give this to my brothers. This is what God wants me to do. And then I got COVID again.
Wow.
So she and I had the same boutique. We had the same shop. So she had never seen me before Saturday. Because I don't come, because I was like, I'm not feeling it. And she and I were talking, and she's my one.
That is
I
love it.
I said, I go out, I'll airdrop my car, but there's no one there. She said, do it again. Keep doing it. I got home, my spirit just said, let me reach out to her. And she invited me today. So I knew nothing about this until I spoke to this young lady here. And for some reason, Ms. Natalie, my spirit is telling me that you are a business. You need to LLC yourself. You are a business.
I'm not gonna cry with y'all. I'm not gonna cry. We could have been a business back in 2009. I'm not gonna cry. She got a street LLC.
What was the defining moment for you?
Okay, so I didn't say that. I'm actually in the military. I've been in the Army for 11 years. I'm actually a major, hopefully be a lieutenant colonel in the next few years. That's what I do primarily, but my defining moment was when, one, I got cancer in like 2017, right?
God told me to speak to you.
I just transferred out of active duty because I was like, I want to be in medicine, right?
And when that doctor said, you might have a 50% chance, I said, well, that's good enough for me. That's still a chance. And so I said, I promise you, I'm going to do everything you said I can do. And I did it. And so I was like, you're going to be in media? Talk about what you want to talk about. So I talked about kneeling during the national anthem, which I knew I was going to get shot from every area, left, right, front. I was like, but I'm going to take the L. And so that inspired me, just like, okay, well, I can take that heat, and I can take the next round. So I'm going through my procedures, multiple surgeries, complications. I have like all these, holes in my body, tubes, catheters. And I said, okay, I can just walk today. All right, if I can do that, that's the next hurdle. So then I told myself, I want to go to a medical program, but how can I get there? Because I have to get out of school. I was sick. I was losing my hair, which I'm so glad you brought that up. Like, I don't even know what was going on because I didn't have to do chemo, just a lot of procedures. But my hair started falling. I was like, all right, well, don't worry about that. Get your lace fronts. Period. Period. Yourself. And so the next thing I was like, okay, we're going viral. Then people started reaching out and saying, okay, I want you here. I want you there. So I was like, oh, I got to keep going for others. I got to keep going. And so then it just hit me. So I was like, I didn't get into school the first round. And I was like, man, I said I'm going to do what I said I was going to do. And then I got a call from Wake Forest University. And they said, not only do we want you to go to school, but we're going to pay for it. There's no way the number 7 school is going to let me and my black self in. Like, I'm black. Like, I'm black from the beginning to the end. And I was like, I'm coming to gold teeth for a day one. But that's what inspired me to keep going. So that 50% chance gave me 100% of life.
Yeah.
The rest of my life. So now I know everything I said I'm going to do. I bought my house. I've traveled overseas. I lived in Germany for a long time. I became an AKA. I was like, in 10 years, I want to be an AKA. I said I'm going to do all these things. I had 5 goals. And when Wake Forest called, that was my last moment. And so, for you.
Okay.
I work with companies all the time. They pay me to do all of the hard stuff a lot, right? They're like, I don't want this LLC. You are the backbone and the platform and the foundation. People don't exist without you.
Come on now.
I hope you know that.
I know that's
I hope
right.
you know that.
Absolutely.
You know that.
Absolutely.
And so, please, I would love to see you tell people your journey. I would love to do it because I think the world needs you. And so, thank you, because I think I needed you. I can't even I was so worried when I came here. I was so afraid.
What are you afraid of?
I have imposter syndrome. I'm like the only black person in my class. I'm the only one.
That's all right.
I'm in all I'm like the only one, so I'm just like, am I smart enough? Like, I'm also an older, so I was like, but when you just started talking, I was like, well, she stuck this out. I mean, I don't have a reason to fail. She's right. So I was like, that made me feel so much better. And so I thank you guys for that. I don't even know what I was gonna get, but I received it. So thank you. Thank you. So that's what inspires me. World leaders.
We all have missions in life, and I always say that you're not done until you're in the ground.
Come on now.
You're just not done.
That's right.
Every time you think, well, okay, I finished this, what else, I got this for you on the list. Oh, okay, more.
Right.
So, if we're not done, so everybody has a bucket list. What would you like yours to be?
Oh wow. On my bucket list is to definitely travel, and I want to not only educate the people, but I want to bring people on, and I just want to build my brand. Like, I want Innovative Foot Spa, not just in the major cities, but the smaller cities, because everyone can benefit from my services.
Definitely.
So I want to educate like different local nail technicians that would like to have advanced training. So that's like the top 2 is to travel and let my business just work for me in all the ways that, like, I'm an adventurous person. I like doing different things. I like seeing different things. So I feel like my business will allow me to do those things.
Oh, yes, absolutely. And the thing is this, everybody's business will allow you to do whatever you want to do. Sometimes we think that, and I think that we need to get out of logic. I always used to say to my son, because I have 3 sons, that if you are logically trying to figure out life without God, it's not going to work.
It's not going to work. That's right.
He's not doing logic.
Come on now.
If you can figure him out, then you don't need him.
That's right.
We need him.
That's right.
So it's not about us like trying to do this without him, because if you do it, He's gonna provide everything you need.
You better say that.
That's right. He's gonna provide it for you. I don't have money. Don't worry about money. I got this.
Yeah.
You know, and another thing is we look at celebrities. A lot of us look at celebrities and go, "Oh man, they're so lucky. They're so blessed." And I say this: every child comes in the world the same way, butt naked with nothing.
Come on now.
With nothing at all. Is what they do when they get older. Because I used to have girlfriends, you know, because it's competition. And for someone like me, it's competition. Because if you have a background and you have a husband as a banker and you're always the only black female, but you're with a lot of other people in different countries, they look at you differently. And they always say, well, what do you do? I'm like, well, what are you doing?
Right. Come on now.
Well, I gotta be doing something you ain't doing.
Thank you.
You know, but there's always a competition there about different things, you know. And so I just said, well, you know, okay, I'm going to do the best of what I can. And I am the type of person, I literally, when I got into Europe, especially when I went to London, I actually knocked on doors. And because my background was cosmetology, and it was also because I got my license in back in high school, and and also fitness. So I actually went because I wanted to be a physical therapist. But because I was following my husband, I put everything on the back burner because I had 2 children. I was in another country. So what can I do? I started inviting people over because God will help you. He started bringing people over to my house, and I started training. People from, you know, foreigners in my house, and I had a nice big room with the glass around it, and I started training because this is what my background was. So I started training, and then I would call my girlfriend and I would say, I'm bringing in, send me some steps, because back then Step Reebok was very popular. Because I had the money, I actually met the inventor of it. So I would call up all the big time people, and so I'm going to use my money to my advantage, and I'm going to go and see what I can do to help people over here. So what I did was they started coming to me. And then they asked me to be on Good Morning London, and then they, you know, so God will open doors even when you don't know He's going to open doors. Just like He opened doors now for you, you know, you just don't know how He's going to do it. And you don't know who you're going to meet. I always say you never know if you're entertaining an angel. That's why it's so important to be kind to people, because you just never know who's going to help you. And another thing is, don't always expect it to be a Christian community. Okay? Don't expect it to be Christian community.
Look a certain way.
Okay? Because it may not be someone from the church. Anytime someone gossips about you in church and go, oh, you know, so-and-so, let's pray for them, bless their heart. First of all, they were supposed to be telling your business in the first place, all right? And that happens a lot in Christian community. We assume that they're perfect, but the church is a hospital for sick people.
Yes.
There are no perfect people in the church. Everybody is the same as the people on the outside. The difference is we have God in our heart. That's the only thing different. And our job is to spread positivity, spread the word. But don't expect people to receive it. If you're coming from that kind of religious, I call it the legalistic background, because my family's very legalistic, you know, like, oh, you can't go to church without stockings. You know, that type of personality. Oh, God's not going to be pleased with you. You don't have a coat on covering your arms. You got on red lipstick. That type of stuff. That's not what God is about your heart. You know, I always say you can speak in tongues and still get pregnant. Okay? You can speak in tongues and still get pregnant. Now, how did that happen? Okay? So and we're going to take a commercial break on that one, right? Take a commercial break. We have been really doing, we've just been unpacking a lot of great stuff, and I really appreciate these beautiful queens for sharing and dropping some gems on us, because what they're actually doing is actually planting seeds in the world. And what it does is just resonates in everybody's spirit. There's always somebody who gets something from someone. And that's what's so important about conversation. I didn't want to do interviews because interview is kind of like I gotcha type of thing. I just wanted everybody to talk, just like they were at home with their girlfriends and just sitting back and just relaxing and just talking. That's what it's all about. Us as a sisterhood. That's what it's about, connection. So right now I want to talk about some relationship questions because that's always fun. So I'm going to start with a fun one. I'm talking about the slap. Okay, we know what that's about, right? So we're going to talk about Will Smith and Jada Pinkett. You know, because that is a very interesting, because everybody has their own opinion about that, right? We all do. You know, we all know that Jada and Will Smith are like these big time celebrities, you know, but like everybody, they got problems. Nobody is free from that. We don't know who is right and who is wrong, but we just know they got problems. Okay, so we're going to open up the floor for anybody who wants to be the first one to give their opinion of Will and Jada, the Oscar night. Because listen, think about this. You are all set. You have been working for 20 years for this doggone Oscar. Finally, yes, I'm getting an Oscar. And here comes the devil. Here comes the devil, want to mess up your thing. Are you going to let him mess up your thing? Or are you going to go like, you know what, devil, you better get out of here because I'm taking this Oscar and I'm keep climbing my mountain, okay? I'll talk to my wife later when I get home. But that's not what happened, did it? So who wants to comment on Will Smith first? Anybody?
I'll go first.
Okay.
I think he just threw his career down the sink. That particular situation, as a man, he could have handled it off stage. So everything he built all these years, in one slot, he lost it.
Whew. Unfortunately. How about you, Ariel?
I probably look like I have something to say. But I just feel like, and of course it's from the outside looking in, we don't know everything that goes on within their household, but from what we know, I think it's time for them just to go their separate ways. I think they're toxic for each other at this point. I feel like they've both done a lot of damage publicly. I think self-esteem and insecurities are in play, but I think that maybe their kids are grown and it might just be time for them to do their own thing.
Shannon? I saw you over there.
Jada's a Virgo.
Okay, so is Michael Jackson, so.
Will is a Libra. Libra's like drama, Virgo's like to give it. You guys are, I'm so sorry for Chris Rock. Let's start it. And his family.
Let's start with him. He's the victim, right?
Yeah, he is definitely a victim. That should never be done to anyone.
Right.
But, Will and Jada feel like they got the type of money to play with people like that. So, let them pay, you know. But,
pay, right?
Right, but they're playing. That's what Virgos and Libras do together. We make mess. Good mess, but, you know, if nobody else is laughing in the end, we probably are still laughing.
Okay, Natalie, I know you got something to come back on that.
I was just going to check about the whole Libra. Because as the head of the Libra community, don't take that slander too well about it. I feel like we're very balanced people, and once we get off balance, then you have to deal with what comes behind.
So, we got off balance on stage with Chris Rock. And Jada was just like, I got your back because that's what we do as Virgos. I got your back, but I'm going to have to let you know because we, Libras and Virgos are not yes people to each other. We refuse to bow down to one another. So I got your back, but that was fucked up. Now everybody was saying I don't like you, but I like you, but that was fucked up. My language was good, my language. But that's what they were saying. It wasn't as big as, you know, the media made it.
Yeah, I'm putting it out there. I suffer from alopecia areata.
I was going to talk about
right now. I'm suffering from that right now. No problem. Because my stylist always has me, so I'm completely fine. But I don't want to fade. You know, I just straight faded my hair with confidence though.
You got it.
But my thing with Jada is, don't get on Facebook Live and shave your hair and say, I don't care what nobody got to say, woo-de-wah-de-wah. And I don't think that G.I. Jane was a derogatory comparison because when I watched G.I. Jane, I'm just going to go ahead and show my age. I'm 40. So I watched G.I. Jane, and she was like, the badass. It was like, it was like, I'm going to shave my head and I can still do this. Now watch me do it. You know what I mean? So, like, I didn't take it as a diss like that because
I don't think Will took it as a diss at first.
No.
It was just a wild reaction.
I'm talking about her because I don't understand how you could get on and fake confidence that you okay with this and you okay with shaving your head in front of a million people or however many people is on your Facebook Live, and then when something is compared to what you I really do feel some kind of way. But you just said you did.
When she did it at home, maybe like her mental was
why
like.
didn't he slap August?
Okay, Sherelle.
Well, because August didn't try her.
people around you say embarrassment, it's just so different if you can do it at home. That's true.
I was gonna say, I think he was out of pocket and out of line, because at the end of the day, he has way too much power and influence to conduct himself in that manner. Right? I think that it was a better way to handle that situation. I can't tell you how many times I've been around people I want to slap. I can't just go around slapping people just because they say something that offends me. Like, I'm gonna check you on it, but I'm not gonna put my hands on you because, you know, there's consequences for your actions. And so, you know, someone that's in both of their positions, like, it's just inappropriate.
Okay, I have a question for you ladies. Do you think Jada is suffering some type of mental thing? Do you think she's a narcissist? Does anybody think Jada is a narcissist?
She want that young boy.
She did a situationship. On the red table.
She shouldn't be doing this.
I think that it got out of hand when I think maybe when Jada was like, well, you know, we can't do this no more, that's it. And he tried to go public and she tried to beat him to the punch of going public with it. Because let's just be clear, we done had a relationship with Gabrielle Union, the girl off Hitch.
Everybody.
You know, like they are aware of their relationships. You know what I'm saying? They're okay with that. But as soon as, you know what I mean? Like, as soon as he tried to bring it to the forefront, she tried to play publicity, like, let me be the publicist and stop this at the curb before it just get out like that. She tried.
When you're in a marriage, you enter into a covenant, you know. So it's just like anything that you do to break that bond between you and that husband, you and that family, you're gonna have to answer for it. And you might not see it directly hit you as the wife or directly hit him as the husband, but it hurts your family in some way. Just like when we do other things like smoke, drink, it alters our DNA. When you do things to cause harm like that on your family, it alters your DNA and how, you know, that's how people get generational curses, and that's how stuff happens to people. So when you decide to enter into a marriage, you want to stay in that rim, that covenant, and that's what Will and Jada is out of right now. They're out of their rim, they're out of their covenant, and they can come back together. They know they can come back together. I don't want to see Will lose anything because we all make mistakes. I can tell y'all about a mistake I made a year ago, and baby, I'm still paying for it. Okay, we all make mistakes, but I mean, I hope he do recover because Will is a good person, and we have watched him grow. I mean, I grew up with Will in my house. You know, we watched him grow for so long. We don't want to see him go down for one mistake that he made. You know, it was a mistake, and his business is all over the place, but he's out of the rim. It lets you know we're all human. Yes. You can break that same bond, and it'll put you out. And they just need to get back in.
Well, you know, it's been announced that they're getting a divorce. But they announced that they're getting a divorce.
Do you believe it?
And I think that this would be one of the biggest divorces in history. It's kind of like Jay-Z and Beyonce when he did the whole thing. When Jay-Z had the affair. The only thing that kept them together was that fact that they didn't want to lose their money. They said, okay, let's stay together. You know, we don't want to lose our money here. You know, because I don't really believe that they're there because of love anymore. I think once you get to a certain plateau, you're just trying to save your money. You know, you don't want to lose everything. You know, you're in the public eye. You know, look what's going on with Johnny Depp right now with his girlfriend, his wife, I should say. Same thing, you know, you're going to lose a lot. You're going to lose a lot from the public, and you're going to lose your businesses, and you're going to lose your money, and that's what's going to happen. You know, it's unfortunate. But Will, I just think that, unfortunately, this might be the best choice for him. Might be the best choice, because if you look at his children, they didn't really do well with this whole thing. You know, and that's who suffered the most, right? That is who suffers. The children suffered the most. You know, but now I'm going to go to another topic: the death of Kevin Samuels. Anybody know who Kevin Samuels is?
Yes.
Let's talk about that. You know, everybody knows who Kevin Samuels is, right?
Yeah, I learned about him after.
Okay. I learned about Kevin Samuels through my son. Now, 2 years ago, he kept talking about this man named Kevin Samuels. I didn't know who Kevin Samuels was. I was like, well, who are you talking about, son?
But I noticed a change in his behavior and how he started disrespecting me in the house. So of course he had to leave, and I was like, let me go find my son an apartment because he ain't staying with me. He's gonna have to act like this. Okay, I'm not doing this. You know. But all of that came from Kevin Samuels because he started on a platform for men, and the men were like, "Yes, we got a new savior now," you know. And so the men was like, "Rah rah rah." But somewhere along the line, women got involved, and Kevin was like, "Oh, I see where my money and my audience is coming from, so I'm going to switch to the women." And that's how Kevin switched to the women. And somewhere along the line, before he passed, 2 months before he passed, he had movie deals, he had TV deals, had all these things that was on the table. I don't know if you noticed his language was changing. He was changing because he finally got what he wanted. But the one thing he didn't do, and see, this is the thing. This is going full circle about with God. Kevin Samuel came from the church. A lot of people don't know that. And even if you have a spiritual, I always say a spiritual agreement with God, you just can't walk away. It's like Jonah. You can't run far enough. Right. You know, and so I think what happened with Kevin is once he started changing and behaving a certain way, the devil stepped in. You know, you leave that hole open for the devil, he's going to step in. He's going to find that snake is going to get through that hole, you know. And I think what happened was he just went too far. Now, his death, that could be something where, you know, we don't know yet until all the evidence come out. But they found him with a woman. She said, quote unquote, she was a nurse, that he fell on top of her. Okay? That was the quote on that, you know. So we don't know. And everybody, oh, it's the Red Bull. It's more than Red Bull that make you fall on top of somebody, okay? There's a whole lot of stuff going on in that system. So my question to you is, do you feel he was fair when he was just talking about black women? Do you think he was fair? Anybody want to have a comment on that? Anybody?
He hated black women.
Okay, let me hear what you have to say.
He hated black women. The way I found out about him one day, I was talking to my cousin. He lived in New York, and he was like, "Yo, this dude, da da da." And I was like, "What are you talking about?" And he was like, "Well, he said da da da." So I looked him up on Instagram. Couldn't find he had like all these followers. So he went live that night. So I watched his live. He's very nasty. Like his vision of things. He has his own vision of things. Like if he feels like you got green and you too black to wear that green and black women shouldn't wear them dresses and black shouldn't wear them, that's how he felt and he stuck to it. And I didn't like that. I just didn't like the way he made the vision, the view of black women look. Like he didn't like black women and he's black. Didn't make no sense.
Anybody else?
He was disgusting.
About you?
It was disgusting. As a woman that works in media, as a woman that has a career, he made other men, he emboldened them to think less of women like me. When he said that I went on a dating show that was like public, so everybody's watching. And I had a guy say that you're a third quarter born again virgin trying to do well for yourself. And like, but that's who it was because I'm not married, because I am a 6-figure income, because I am all of these things. Kevin Samuels gave black men this idea that the woman like me, the ideal woman, didn't have any value. And that trended. Men have never been that disrespectful to someone like me. Like, yeah, I own my house, you know. But I remember when I was chasing down the Wendy Williams to get those interviews to now I'm on national platforms. But Kevin Samuels gave black men who have nothing the ability to feel more powerful than the woman that they want to be with, but could never really deserve or have.
And they didn't deserve.
So you had men like me. Telling women like, oh, you're actually only a 6 in the real game because you're 35 and you have a child, or oh no, you're 30, I'm 32, you don't have children. A man doesn't want you because you think too highly of yourself. But that made other black men think the same way. Oh, she thinks too highly. So one guy told me, I don't care about what you got for yourself. What can you do for me? I'm like, Negro, first of all, you're coming to my house. To my house, I brought you to a bed and breakfast, which you cannot afford. So, you can't afford this. Where's your points?
Yes, honey.
So, but Kevin Samuels gave men who have made so many mistakes feel like a woman like me was less value. And I had dudes come for me. If I showed you the comments that are all around me, it's 25,000 views and all the comments from black men. If I met a woman like you, I would have dropped you. So I screenshot his wife and I said, is this the girl you would have dropped me for? Absolutely not. Check your husband. Okay. So, but that emboldened men to come for me like I was a child of God. And it was disgusting. But men like him, just like the Trumps of the world, transcended, and it made people feel like I now have the right to say what I've always wanted to say to the black mother I never had. And it was disgusting.
You're absolutely right.
I'm sad that he died, rest in peace to his soul, but that's not none of my business.
Well, I can tell you this, he ain't resting in peace.
I
Okay? I'm honest and real about stuff. I'm not going to fake it and say, oh, God bless the dead, rest in peace, blah, blah, blah. No. That's not what's going to happen to Kevin Samuel, okay? Let's just be honest with that, okay? It does, my personal opinion about that is that he did give a platform to the men who actually weren't doing well.
Yes.
And that gave them an excuse not to do well at all, and like they deserve. It's kind of like when you work out in the gym. It's the best way not to use. It's an analogy. You're working out, you eating right, you on your thing, you getting your bag, you doing your thing, and then this bum comes along, okay, and he's like, hey, just because I'm a man, I deserve. No, you don't. What you been doing? Have you been taking care of yourself? No. So why should I talk to you? I have the right to say no. And for some reason, what I didn't like is that a lot of the women started feeling bad. Like, oh man, maybe I do need to listen to Kevin. And this is how he actually got popular. They started believing the hype. And I was like, how do you believe the hype? It's like a PhD woman wanting a GED man, okay? You have the right to say no. I worked hard for my PhD and I don't have to accept GED. It's just a fact, That's not being mean, that's just being real. And it's unfortunate what happened to him, but it happened. It is. And I feel, but now I've looked on Instagram and everybody has decided to be his, I don't know. His soldiers. I saw on TikTok so many new soldiers coming up. I'm like, oh God, he done planted a seed. It's like a trend going on. So my question to you is, how do women that are like late 20s, 30s, going into their 40s, and are not married, how do you deal with this new community of men who don't respect you, who don't believe that you all that, even though you got everything? Where does that leave you? Because there's so many single women right now who got everything. Where does that leave you? Anybody?
You gotta know that, and I'm past 20, I started you past 40. So you gotta know that your mate is not sent from Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. It's sent from God.
Amen.
You will wait
Amen.
Until it's your time.
Yes.
What happened to him? It's because he made a deal with the devil. And the devil came and collect. And that's why you ended up the way
I
you
agree
did.
with that.
I watched him one time. And I laughed because my God is stronger than anything.
Yes, you're right.
Yeah. So right now, I'm single. Own house, business. I don't worry about no man. Because when God decides it's time for me to do that, I'll do it. But until then, just wait.
I tell you, my sister, I agree with you. I had,
amazing.
I had a guy, in my DM say to me, and you always got to recognize the enemy and how he speaks to people. People think that the enemy speaks just to bad people. No, he can speak to anybody. He can speak to the Pope if you want to. Okay? It's just you listen to him. You gotta have discernment.
Come on now. Come on now.
And he's like, well, you're getting older and you gotta make some decisions because you ain't got that much time. What you gonna do? You gonna get married? What you gonna do? Don't you feel lonely? I'm like, okay, but this is what happens. These men now have been indoctrinated by this type of talking, and then you start thinking, well, maybe he's right. Because the enemy will come in your mind real quick and he say, shut up, devil, I know it's you. You got to know him for himself because, he will come in your mind and give you doubt. And because women are nurturers and givers and they want to help and they want to love and women have so much to give. They're beautiful people, and what happens is they fall prey to this. Because if they're not strong enough, what happens is they'll go, well, maybe he's right. But look, we don't want build a bear, we don't want build a man, okay? It's just that simple, we don't want that. I see these guys telling me I need to wrap it up, okay? But I'm not wrapping it up, we're not done yet. So we're gonna go on, I see you back there going, So my what I would like to say is that if you are single, like you said, pray for God to send you the person that He wants you to be with. Who sees your purpose and His purpose, that wants to build you and support you and love you, because we don't have a helpmate.
You know, we are the helpmate, but we bring so much to the table because without us, there would be no people. So it is a blessing to be a woman. It's a blessing to be a queen because let me tell you something. God gave us this. We are the only ones besides Him who can create, to bring a human being into the world. A lot of women don't think like that, but that's the truth. We are the only ones that can create and bring a human being into the world besides God. And that's the truth of that. You know, so my question is now that I'm going to ask each person to drop a gem of something that will resonate in someone out there in the atmosphere. Someone's going to grab onto it. Something positive that they would like to see. I'm going to start with you, beautiful.
I would say, just kind of bouncing off of what you just said there. Negative thoughts, negative energy, when, you hear that doubt, that doubtful voice come into your head, immediately think back to, just the positive thoughts. Think back to the reason why you're doing what you're doing. Set those goals high, because there's been many, many times that I've had goals set, and that negative thought would come into my mind, and I'm thinking, I can't do this. There's absolutely no way. And then I have positive people around me, like my sister here, who will reinforce, again, those positive thoughts, positive energy, and then, I'm like, what, I can do this. And and not only think about these goals, write them down, look at them daily. I do that often, and I can say, sitting here, that I've accomplished quite a few things that I never thought I would have been able to do. Owning my own business. I mentioned earlier, I have Catching Z's Enterprises, which is short-term and long-term rental housing solution that I provide for individuals. I never thought that I have 2 properties right now, but last year, this time, it wasn't even a thought in my mind. It didn't happen until, October of last year. I thought, well, maybe I can do, and it's happening. It's happening, and I just got chills because it's, it's powerful. Just your mind, and you said before, just speaking it out, and looking at yourself in the mirror and speak, not just saying, but looking at yourself and saying it, that makes a big difference as well. I know I was all over the place with that.
So how can they find you on Instagram, Facebook? Let people know who you are, how they get to you.
YMS Cleaning Services on Instagram. Yes, YMS Cleaning Services.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Can I piggyback? Because I feel like mine kind of is just a piggyback.
Yes, sure.
So, that was great, and I think to add to setting goals and writing them down and everything like that is take the limits off, because I feel like so many times we limit ourselves. For me in particular, I'm a planner. I write everything down. And I'm like, okay, well, if I did this, then I accomplished what I was going to accomplish this year. But no, let's surpass that. Let's take the limitations off of what we can do and keep going. Surpass your goals for the year. Write them down. Yes, we did that. Cool. But what can I'm gonna keep going till the end of the year. This is not where I'm gonna stop at.
Awesome.
So that's my little gem.
So where can they find you?
Aries Corner on Instagram.
Okay, thank you. All right, next. Who else wants to go? Anybody want to drop some gems?
Okay. I would like to say staying consistent with, of course, your goals and having confidence. It means everything, that consistency is key. That it's just so true. Yes. And I feel like, and hold yourself accountable for your goals and what you want to do. And don't tell many people what you want to do.
Oh, yeah,
that's the biggest
That's the one.
Yes,
that's the one.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And how can they find you?
I'm on Instagram, Innovative Foot Spa LLC, and on Facebook, Innovative Foot Spa.
Thank you.
I must say, I get a lot of questions all the time about people asking me in media. And my main thing I tell people is that you have to make your own way. Like, I remember, and I was just telling her, chasing down Wendy Williams trying to get that interview at Black Enterprise. I remember standing on the outside of NASCAR trying to wait for the celebrities to walk out to get that interview. And a lot of people ask me like, oh, well, I want to get connected. It's not just about connections. I started sitting on the floor with the camera. I started with Facebook Live. I started with my one little ring light. You have to make your way into the business. I started paying those $1,000 VIP tickets to these conferences to get the knowledge, and I read the books. Never once did I just reach out to a celebrity and hoping that they give me a chance. I had to make my way. It's proof in quality in your product, and it is quality in your efforts, and your efforts have to be matched by your expertise. It doesn't happen overnight. So when you want to be in a trending in a business, you don't think, oh, I'm just going to get an Instagram, I'm just going to make TikToks, I'm going to make YouTube. You set your plan. You look at what quality really looks like, what production looks like, and you do it to your best of your abilities, but you have to make your own way. And I think with this new age people don't understand. We started back in 2012 making stuff on Facebook. 2016, my first video went viral to now having millions, but it wasn't yesterday. I'm just dancing and doing stuff. You have to make your own way and be professional. And so if you really want something, you'll start where you need to start. You won't ask for a handout, and you'll get it done.
I agree. Thank you so much, Queen. And where can they find you?
You can find me at TYM Carolina _ that's on Instagram, and TYM Carolina, that's Time Carolina Weekly Moments on Facebook and Instagram.
Thank you. Okay, Sherelle.
You pretty much said like a lot of great stuff.
Piggyback on that.
But to add to that, I would say always just be willing to learn from other people that are doing better than you or in a place where you want to be. Like for me, I think that's been key. And as far as me going places and doing what I do now, it's just I'm always eager to learn from other people that I see are in a position I want to be in or where I'm trying to go. Like a lot of you ladies said a lot of great things today that I've internalized, and I plan to kind of like put some things in motion so I can try to get better. You know, that's the main thing. It's just always be eager to just get better and be better, like the best version of yourself every day. That's just kind of something I always just kind of keep in the back of my mind. How can I be better than how I was yesterday? And get rid of things that don't serve you or people that don't serve you, that they'll come around you just because they feel like, you know, oh, you're such a great person. They want to take away things, but they don't serve you. They don't serve any real purpose. They're not on a mission to do anything. They just they're trying to suck your energy or whatever. You kind of want to I like try to limit your time with people like that, because what I found is that they'll sometimes bring your energy down, or you know, have you doubt things, and people like that, they have a purpose, but sometimes it may not be like in line with your purpose, and so you know, just be cautious of that. So
Where can I find Sherelle?
oh good, IG Sherelle Booker, also Facebook producer Sherelle.
Thank you. Okay, Miss Natalie, Miss Queen.
I guess my gem that I've kind of grew up with and taken with me is that, like you said, you got to find your purpose. And every day you have a purpose. In 2019, my life changed drastically in 13 seconds. I didn't think that I was going to live. I didn't think that my parents were going to live. So and all of that happened in 13 seconds. So when I did live, when I realized that I survived, I'm not going to say live, I survived. And then I started to live. After I survived. You know what I mean? And
I got that.
Things could change drastically immediately.
That was a defining moment for you.
Very defining. It was the pivot, you know, and I had to find out who I was. It's a lot of accountability. It was a lot of, just trying to better myself. And I learned not only about myself, I learned about my circle. And I learned that, you know, I've always been told you can't pick your family, but you can pick your friends. But my thing is, my friends are my family. So I know I did not pick them. They were divinely chosen. And it's not a coincidence that we are in line the way that we are. Like my circle has hands down the best black women. I can't even fathom how that I become a part of them, of their circle. Like y'all like me. You know what I'm saying? So to be able to be in those types of circles, and not feel like the weakest one. You know what I mean? Like that's just a blessing in itself.
Yes.
So I guess my gym is
You're the strongest one, but you thought you were the weakest one.
straight up and down. So you know when you walk into a room, like the confidence, like you said, like you gotta have confidence. Like it's not so much if they will like me, it's will I like them? Do I like me? Do I like me enough to care whether they like me or not?
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because when you're comfortable in who you are, nothing
You make
external
a decision.
can really,
You decide who you want to like.
exactly. So
There you go.
yes, ma'am. And you can find me on IG, Natalie NATALI _with_NI. You can find me on Facebook, Natalie Howland, NATALI, last name Howland, HOWLAND.
Thank you so much. Okay, this is Queen Shannon.
Queen Shannon. Okay, so I hate public speaking. What was the question again? Let me make sure.
What gems do you want to drop to get into the world?
Gems. Okay, let me get it right. So again, I got 20 years in the industry. I came out of school in 2003. I was pretty much licensed up cosmetology, master hair care, K-Rep that got my instructor license to teach. So baby, I was Facebook. If you got to work with Facebook, amazing. But if you had to market like we market back in the day, it was totally different. And to keep a clientele and to keep, you know, people during those times, especially when things change so much. People change, the way they do things change. So I want to stick there, but I want to jump here real quick to Kevin Samuels thing. I think I don't have words for Kevin Samuels, I just wish him the best. But sometimes we have to put ourselves on a shelf. We have to put ourselves on a shelf in business. We have to put ourselves on a shelf in life. And that's what Kevin Samuels did. For the strong women, for the women that know who they are, who hold all of their energy and issue it out to who they decide to issue that energy out to those women, Kevin Samuels did not affect. Because what they did was put themselves on a shelf where men like that will not be able to reach you. So when you got people in your space and you put yourself on a shelf, don't be afraid to back away. It's just not your time. And when it comes to a man, as you sit on that shelf, you're going to grow all kinds of things. You grow the knowledge to know your worth, what your value is. And when that man approaches you, he is going to see it. You will not have to tell him nothing. If you had an extra child and this, that, you will not have to explain anything to this man. Whatever date you go on, it should just be the food, the drinks, the whatever. Do not share your life with someone you do not know. They do not deserve that part of your energy. So that's my gem. Love yourself. And business, be nice in business. These people, when we go out, we want good customer service everywhere we go. You know, I've held a 5-star rating on my salon since 2014, I think, when they really started doing the Google ratings. I look at my Google views to my business. I got 5,000 people Googling my business a month. You know, my numbers are good. We treat people good. When you come into our salon, it's like a home. We're resourceful. We just sat down the other day with some banks and stuff like that. So, I make sure I bring it back to my community. They still have money on the local level. If you guys need grants for your business, you go to your city and you ask them what money is left on the local levels for your businesses so that they can grow. Some of the colleges around you, they still offer redoing business plans. Because in business, in life, we always got to revamp ourselves. Every day we wake up, and we keep hitting that red button for reset, you know, it's going to eventually come a day where you're going to back away from that red button. My clients keep asking me, Shannon, what's wrong with your business? Why are you not here? Because I'm almost at the point in my business where I can back away from my red button because of my investments, because of my resources, and the people that I've had around me. So just know that everything is going to work itself out. Don't worry, it's going to work itself out.
It's a point in time.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you. Where can they find you?
No problem. Thank you.
So where can they find you?
Oh, they can find me at belladonnasc.com.
Yes.
I'm on Facebook, and everything I have is belladonnasc.com.
Okay.
So if you Google it, everything is going to come up. Yeah.
Thank you so
You're
much.
welcome.
Okay, Queen Coach here.
Okay, Jim, I'd like to drop is invest in yourself. Invest in yourself. When I first started, we were going through the pandemic. I don't even think I had $500 in my bank. But I took $143, whatever it takes to get that LLC, and I was like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. And I had to drop a lot of people because, like she said, don't tell everybody what you're gonna do. Because I heard everything from I don't want a tattoo on my head, that sounds silly, just every negative thing you could think of. And so I try to surround myself with people who want a lot from me, for me. So if you don't want a lot for me, from me, I don't need you. I don't need you. So today, like I was just on I don't have Facebook because I took off Facebook for personal reasons. But there's no reason I can't have Facebook for my business.
Right. Yes.
So that's where I'm dropping the ball. Being here with these ladies today.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Shannon. Thank you for bringing this down. Thank you. Today has been so real. I couldn't ask for anything more. I couldn't. And I want to see you ladies again. Another month, another year, see everybody what they're doing.
We're gonna do it again.
Yeah. I'll definitely be at pop-ups.
Y'all all come through. I really, all your energy is super dope. Like, I learned just now. You don't even know you taught me something.
Wow.
Like, and I'll talk to you about it after. Like, I learned something. Like, everybody has something to say, and it's like everybody your view of it. Everybody has a different view of stuff, and I just like agree with everybody. It takes consistency.
Yes.
If you're not consistent and keep up, people are not gonna know. You can do something one time and may fall, but if you keep going, it's gonna work out. Investing in yourself. If you don't put money out, you're not gonna make no money. And nobody's gonna put money into you if you're not serious. And
I will tell you something. Greatness does not go on sale. It's never going to go on sale. And that's what we were talking about, like-minded people. That's what it's about.
I got already. It's not worth it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so you just dropped some good gems. So where can they find you?
You can find me on Instagram at Black Queen City, and that's Queens with a Z. And then my personal Instagram is the Tati Alexis, and my Facebook is Tati Alexis. So
Thank you.
Have fun.
Yes.
You can go to my Instagram. It's Somebody Mama LLC.
Oh, I love that Somebody's Mama.
2021, and it came from. You know, you may not remember my name, you may not remember what I do, but if somebody sees my
Somebody's Mama. Yes.
who did your hair?
Somebody's Mama.
I love that's catchy. I love that.
Somebody's Mama.
Yes.
That's smart.
Yes.
I don't have nothing to say, but I mean, just surround yourself around positive. Always treat people the way you want them to treat you, because I find a lot of people want to be treated some kind of way, but they treat people like shit.
Yeah.
You know, I found that a lot of life. Basically, I mean, what piggybacking off what she said, you learn a lot from people when you shut up and pay attention and don't act like you know everything, because there's always room for growth. And we don't have all the answers, even though we may seem like we do. So again, I was blessed with the presence of all. This is my first time doing this. Listen, I'm about like you, and the LLC and all that. I'm hood. Okay? Let's just keep it real. I'm hood. I'm not used to none of this. And to be around all you guys and to see, you know, you guys going like y'all are, that's what makes me smile. So even if I don't make $1 in my business, seeing y'all do what y'all do is beautiful to me. That's beauty to me. So keep doing what y'all do.
You too. You keep doing what you do, because you just wrestled with some beautiful gems there. So
Yes,
you
a
do
lot.
as well. And don't never say even if I don't make $1, because you're gonna make more than $1. You're gonna make $1 million.
That's right.
Okay? You gonna claim that. We ain't claiming no broke people.
But my
out here
joy
right now,
comes from
okay?
seeing other people happy too.
Yes.
And God knows
God
that.
will bless you for
He
that
knows
too.
it. Absolutely.
Absolutely. So where can they find you?
Well, you can find me at Reese Boutique on Instagram, or you can find me on Facebook, Sharika Stafford Nunu. That's my name. Just,
I love it.
That's it. That's all.
I love it.
That's all.
Okay, thank you, Queen, so much. You have really dropped some gems for everybody, and they are really going. This is going to resonate in people's spirit, because you'd be surprised how many people are going to go, let me hear what you got to say. You know, because they want to hear what you got to say, because it's people are always wanting to learn. We are all hungry. We're hungry for good stuff, you know, and I always say that conversation and words are nutrition for the soul. You know, and remember, comparison is a thief of joy.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is a thief of joy. Comparison is a thief of joy. Everybody's an original. Everybody.
Say it again. I like that.
Comparison is the thief of joy. You know, we all got different fingerprints and footprints, and we all, you know, put something here on the world, you know, that everybody needs to know. And also, when you look in the mirror, the only person you're competing with is yourself.
You better.
No competition. You're competing with. If you're looking in that mirror, that's who you compete with. And when you smile, that image is smiling back at you. You know, and that's what we have to remember, that we are beautiful queens. We are, and queens is something that should resonate in your spirit. I always say it's luxury, and when I say luxury, I don't mean material things. Right. It's how we take care of our bodies, because our body's a temple for the Lord. You know, and so you know what it says in heaven, like those streets are paved with gold, because God ain't no shabby man. He ain't poor. You know, he's like, hey, I ain't broke. Okay, and he didn't mean for his people to be broke either. You know, and I'm Queen D, and my story, oh God, but I will give this testimony because God told me to give it to you. Okay, because I was thinking about what you said. You know, I had lupus when I was a teenager. And I remember as a child not having the support of my parents. My father worked 3 jobs, okay? And my mother was somewhere doing her own thing. You know, I mean, she was working, but she wasn't in tune with what her kids were doing, because she, at the age of 10, I still can remember her calling and saying, make sure you have the food on, make sure you take care of your brothers and sisters. So they were both doing their thing, you know, because it was a different world back then. That doesn't mean they're bad people, but it's a different world, right? Different generation. But I can remember doing research, trying to find out what lupus was, what can I do, blah, 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 because the neighbor next door had it, she passed from it. So, a long story short, I went to church. I'll never forget, I went to church, and, you know, I went up there to the prayer line, and they said, raise your hand and just start thanking God and praising God. And when I went back to the doctor, he says, well, you don't see no lupus here. Well, they kept me in the hospital a week. And couldn't find nothing. Amen. You know, and that, even though I was only 17, it was like I felt a responsibility. I could feel the responsibility of God. It was like He was so real to me. And I was like, okay, that means I have to, you know, I have a purpose and I have things to do and blah, 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 you know. So, you know, fast forward, you know, even though I got divorced and everything, and my husband's doing well and we're all doing well, I went through some stuff, because as a single parent, you go through a lot of stuff, you know, but God brought me here. And my sister called me up the other day and she says, you know, you're an evangelist. I said, I know. You know, but he didn't, but when she said it, because she's a minister. See, God chooses us to minister in different ways. Doesn't mean you're going to be on the platform in the church. You know, it means that you have a platform, but He's got to show you. You got to pray for discernment. Pray to hear His voice, and also pray that you don't get tricked by the enemy. Because the enemy, you know, that was God's top angel. And he can bring anybody down. And it's been shown over and over in the media, as you can see, from the biggest people. So if he can bring down Jim Baker and all these great people, it makes you think you're different, right? That's why you got to stay close to God and listen for His ear, for discernment, and pay attention to different things. Because I always say the devil never comes ugly. When sometimes you wake up in the morning and go, okay, I'm positive, yeah. But then there's that devil going, yeah, but why are you doing this? Yeah, why are you doing this? You don't have to do this if you don't want to. Because I can literally, my background is I'm a special needs teacher. Okay, and you can imagine what it's like to have special needs children with traits, behavior problems, all kinds of people in wheelchairs, children in wheelchairs, learning disabilities. It takes a certain type of personality to want to deal with special needs children. Okay, but how I got hired, and I knew the day I got hired, I knew I was hired. They said, well, what makes you think you can deal with special needs children? And I say, because I don't look at what they can't do, I look at what they can do. And that's what it is. It's about what you can do, not what you can't do. And that's what you work from. You scaffold from the bottom and you work your way up. And God is right behind you doing it with you. You know, so I'm Queen D. Thank you very much, everybody. This has been great. This has been close conversation. You can find me on Lorraine Moore, that's Instagram, and you can find me on my YouTube channel, which is Lorraine Moore, but I'm also on Facebook as Queen D Alice Clayton, because that's my birth name. I tried to get around it. They were like, no, you gotta use your birth name. I'm like, okay, you know, but that's, you know, but thank you so much for coming, and I appreciate you. And everybody have a beautiful day and a beautiful life, because that's what God's plan was for you in the first place. Thank you.